If I don't get Fallen Byleth, I will become a fallen hero myself. If he doesn't arrive, I will commit turn self into combat manual. We're going to be pulling for Fallen Byleth. You're almost dying from heat. Oh no, Brisk. Hang in there. It's because Professor Byleth is so hot. Yes, we're going to be pulling for my beloved professor. Something seems off about him. I'm not sure. I think maybe he seems a little hangry. I think he skipped his lunch. Don't worry, Professor. We'll get a nice beef brisket sandwich in you. Don't worry. Yeah, this banner. So look at this, right? Look at all this nonsense. I couldn't begin to explain what all this guy does. Let's be real. The reason I'm pulling is because he's Byleth, not because of anything else. I'm looking at all this, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. I go on Reddit, people are like, yeah, this Fallen banner kind of mid. I'm like, what? That's the current state of Fae. The game is so fundamentally broken that we look at a character like this and we go, yeah, that's mid. Underwhelming for a Fallen banner. Oh, Ivy? She's only a side grade to her winter version, so she's not that good. Actually insane, the current state of the game. But we got Miss Ivy as well. I love her. And then we got Canis. She does things and she's a rearmed. And then Tibarn is also a rearmed, and his art looks really good. I'm not a Tibarn guy, but his art, the art is phenomenal. Actually, all the art on this banner is really good, but of course I got to give the bias towards my boy Professor Byleth. Yeah, this is Byleth being piloted by Sothis like a mech. So, is this even a Byleth alt? Debatable. I could argue that this is more of a Sothis alt, kind of like a Grima situation for all those years where they kept putting Grima alts and they said it was Robin, but we all knew it was Grima. Since it is my dear professor, we are going to pull for him and try and get him. Faye's scary and must EOS for the sake of the world. Yeah, I got my Byleth, so I really don't have any complaint against that. Let me get this Byleth first, and then they can pull the plug. We've got almost 900 orbs, not quite. 871 orbs to start, plus 4 summon tickets. So not bad considering I wasn't expecting another Byleth alt for like a year, given I got my Brave Byleth, which I really wanted. I was super happy about that. I got Emblem Byleth right after that, and then I felt spoiled. I was like, wow, 2 Byleths back to back. I feel hashtag blessed. Well, it turned out to be a curse because here's Fallen Byleth. 3 Byleths in 1 year. This is biblical levels of greed. I didn't need this many Byleths back to back, but we'll try and get them anyway. Probably won't go for the plus 10 here. We'll probably go Byleth and Ivy as our spark options, and that'll be great. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. Oh, I should double check. He is green, and Ivy is colorless. Make sure we're going for the right ones. I am just gonna pull green because we'll get the 1 Ivy I want off of Spark anyway. So we're gonna pull green and hyper focus that, and hopefully we get a decent number of copies on the way. This is not that is not my mint-haired professor. I think it's really interesting that they really leaned in, especially with male Byleth, on the magic aspect of the professor. I would have thought they'd hyper focus on him being a sword unit, but they really like giving him tome alts, which I'm like totally fine with. I think that's really cool for him. But I was really worried when he first came out that he'd only get sword alts. Ocean, not quite. Yeah, I think it's cool that they focus on, or they give him like a decent variety in his alts. But it's interesting that they decided to hyper focus on him being a tome unit. Oh, well, it's a fallen unit. It's just not quite the one we were expecting to see there. Hello, female Alir. Double greens, just sadly neither of them were what we wanted. Fallen female Lear is still pretty good, so we'll take that pretty happily. I still would love to get a plus 10 Fallen male Alear, because that's my favorite version of Alear. Gotta focus on Professor Byleth. Actually, that's what I was planning to spend these orbs on. I was like, okay, Byleth won't be back for a while. Whenever they rerun Fallen Dedue, I was gonna go for the last 2 merges on him. But Professor Byleth had other plans. No copies so far, but the 2 green 5 stars is still pretty nice. I can't complain, even though Ocean doesn't do much of anything at this point. The Repo Man. Like red has the potential for like off focus Fallen male Alear. Blue has like Grima. Oh wait, does green have Shura? Ooh, green might have Shura, actually. My active merge projects. Well, I'd say inactive. At this point, I feel like power creep is so freaking off the wall that by the time you pull fodder for a merge project, it's already outclassed by something better, and there's no real point in going out of your way for stuff, so. Bantu. Hello, Bonbon. Rally luck, thank you, Brisk. Come on, Professor. In the name of the beginning, I invoke you. Appear before us, fallen Professor. No, not quite. Celestia is not bad, actually. What if you just embraced the heat? Oh, and a female Kana. Not terribly exciting. And we are halfway to the Spark already. 0 copies of Byleth, unfortunately. That is not a great look to start. Okay, still nothing. Alright, 3 greens is a little better. And a Scarlet. Is that my first Scarlet? No, not my first one, but it is, I haven't pulled that many copies of her. I actually forgot she wasn't a Grand Hero battle unit, to be honest. So yeah, we are almost 100 orbs in. No luck at all. I was hoping that we would get at least like 1 copy really fast. I guess we're paying for the good luck we had with Emblem Byleth. And to be fair, Emblem Byleth was far more important to get those merges on, I would say, being a limited unit. Red is probably slightly more valuable to me. No. Neither of them. I was like, well, maybe we'll get a Sarah, but I didn't particularly want her anyway because she'd just eat the pity. Which is currently at 4%. Also, this is a great wheel. Let's go. Charlotte. Lame. Well, actually, if you're an evil version of yourself, but you're possessed by the divine goddess, is that evil or is that righteous justice? These are the philosophical questions that I would walk into Seteth's office and I would ask him this, and he would like, please leave. This is borderline blasphemous. Do not pose such a question to me again. And then he'd go home and he'd be like, okay, but actually, how is that good or bad? Oh man, 4 greens in this wheel and none of them were what we were looking for. At least the 4-star specials don't break the pity, so we're still at 4.25. Oh, and an Air. I've gotten a decent number of copies of Ascendant Air, just randomly. I think I could get her to like +5 right now, which is not bad. It'd be a lot more exciting if you actually got an Ascendant Fleuret every time you summoned her. But since you don't, just kind of not the most exciting, but longevity-wise, they're not that exciting because getting multiples don't do anything. Let's go, finally! That took over 100 orbs. I don't think it was that much over 100 orbs, though, to get our first copy. Stop your impudent staring. My name is Soth. No. My name is Byleth. I am a mercenary. Let's go, the Ashen Nightmare. Look at him. Ashen Nightmare. Not quite as much aura as the Ashen Demon, but pretty close. And look at this art. This is phenomenal art. Look at all these poses. Sothis in the background there. And there. Look at that damage art. He's about to slide back anime style and then retaliate with like a big old burst of energy or something. Incredibly powerful art. Oh, he looks so good. This might be my favorite Byleth art in the game. I like most of his art, but this one might be my favorite. This one's so good. And it's got his original outfit, which is my this is my favorite outfit for Byleth. He's got other good outfits, but this one is definitely my favorite. Just the classic. It looks so good. And he is plus attack, which is pretty good, I'm guessing. Probably wants plus speed, but plus attack is probably really good as well. And dual support. Wait. It's probably just because it's a good skill, but I like the idea that dual support is here thematically because he's two people. He's Sothis and Byleth acting as one, so it's duality. That's what I'm gonna choose to believe. 2 5 stars. Let's go. Kind of makes up for how long it took, but it's always nice to see 2 in 1 wheel, even if this one isn't doing a whole lot for me. And can we get a double? Can I double my order of Professor Byleth? No. So there we go. First copy. We'll probably do both sparks. I'll take an Ivy on the second spark. Really wish they'd let you just spark the same character multiple times, but don't get me wrong, I like Miss Ivy, but I would definitely take a second Byleth over her. Was that double Orochi? What? That happens weirdly often where, despite how big the pool is, it'll give you like 2 of the same hero back to back. Fallen Byleth is definitely more referencing that non-canon game that I prefer not to acknowledge its existence. I will say, Byleth does look sick there, though. In the Forging Bonds, they treated this Byleth as if he was also the professor of Dimitri, Edelgard, and Claude.
Hello there.
Oh, hello, Togi. Dimitri, Edelgard, and Claude come in and they call him professor, right? So you would expect, since he's referencing the other game's timeline, you would expect him to go, I am not your professor. Why are you calling me this? But instead, he just gives them professorly advice for the brief moment he's able to regain control. So even though he's referencing the other timeline, it almost feels like this one is still more like a mainline Byleth that fell like maybe during when you go to hunt down Kronia. Not sure. I haven't looked at his voice lines yet, so maybe that'll shed some insight, but just kind of interesting. He seems to, despite referencing the other game, still also reference the mainline game. So I'm not sure. Everyone is roasting though. What is wrong? That's not good. It's the slop machines making the environment too hot, I guess. And we are almost to the spark. This first batch of pulls definitely could have been better, but you know, at least I got one Byleth on the way to the spark. So we will go ahead and get our second copy here. I do wish, like I mentioned, that it's cool that they give Byleth like a decent variety with like the tome colors and everything, plus his sword. But I do wish he had been like a colorless tome here, since his legendary is green. It also would have been cool to see him like use the dagger or something. Use the dagger, or even be a dragon unit who like fights with hand-to-hand combat. But the tome is still pretty cool, so always love that Byleth has decent color diversity. So we're at +1. Really was hoping to be a little further along than that, but we'll take it. I'm gonna have to find another copy of Reposition Gate for him. Or maybe Drawback Gate, since he's a mage. We'll see. Starting, let's go, Hilda. She's one of the characters I pull decently frequently. Her and Annette, actually. Annette is like up to like, I want to say like +6 or +7. Virian, you are not my professor. Byleths. Man, I think they should give Byleths a dragon alt so he can punch things. Let Byleths punch things with his
big meaty claws.
Even if it doesn't make sense for him to be a dragon, you could say he's got dragon energy or something. I don't know. Let him punch things. Ew. No greens once again. Three greens. Let's go. Right here, we're gonna pull 3 Professor Byleths, please. Oh, nope, a second fallen female Aleer. Okay. At least it's on brand, right? Like, okay. Does that mean I think I might have more copies of fallen female Aleer than male Aleer now, who I actively pulled for? Which would be a little disappointing. Oh, another... See, this is what I mean. Sometimes I'm convinced that the game's, like... there's something wonky with the randomization, and instead of like randomizing from every hero, it selects a few specific heroes that you're gonna see off focus and as like more common, and it spams you with those. Because what are the odds I pulled 2 fallen female Aleer and 2 Ocean out of the pool of how many green units? Actually insane work. That is not my professor. And a Tanya. All right, come on. Green. There we go, let's go. Byleth number 3. He is plus HP. I would rather use my plus attack one. At least that one was really low pity, so that one's pretty good. Miss Ivy. That's not Miss Ivy. Yeah, I still want to get my +10. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I want my +10 to do. And he's only like 2 merges away. But I'll probably still prioritize getting my Byleth merges. And this banner will probably win a rerun, since Fallen usually gets a rerun. Although if people are saying that this banner is mid for a Fallen banner, that maybe we won't. Who knows? Assuming that happens, we'll get at least 1 more copy off of the rerun and a Soren. Soren was really funny in Ivy's Forging Bond. All right, 12 more to spark. Yeah, these pulls definitely could have been... We could have definitely seen a lot more Byleths, like we did with the Emblem Byleth summons, but it could have been worse too. The first Emblem Byleth summon was a actual disaster. That one didn't even make it into the video because it was so bad. I just got nothing on the way to the spark. Like, literally nothing on the way to the spark. Wait, no, that's not true, actually. I got Alfador and Heimdallr on the way to the spark, but I got 0 copies of Emblem Byleth to the spark, which, given that he was all I cared about, might as well be I got nothing, but technically that's not true. Oh, come on. I only have so many pulls left and you're gonna give me wheels with no greens? Get out of here. I can't believe the 2 fallen female Aleers. That's just wild. 2 of them. 2 of them. Why couldn't it have been 2 extra Byleths? Ugh. And a Sylvain. His brother made it in, finally. And people were like, oh, let's go. We're finally gonna have Lance of Ruin and Fae. Well, yes, but actually no. Uh, his brother has the lance in his art and everything, but he's a beast unit, so rip. I was actually kind of hoping that we'd get Miklon without being a fallen unit, so he was just like a prefless Grand Hero Battle unit with a lance, and then you could get a Sylvain alt who has a rearmed Lance of Ruin, and you just fodder the lance onto Miklon, and it'd be very flavorful, but alas, IS doesn't have a sense of humor like I do. All right, last of our paid polls. And Ashura, wow, I wish I had seen more copies of you. I love Shura. Shura, my goat. Actually, genuinely, unironically, one of my favorite characters from Fates. I know everyone haha boots meme, but Shura in his like one support that he actually gets is like such a cool character. I really wish he had more options. He's a really cool character. Every time I played Conquest, I took Shura with me to endgame. All right, let's grab Miss Ivy. There she is. I am Ivy, Queen of Elusia. You must be happy that one as beautiful as I has come. Very well, praise me. She's the Fell World counterparts of the Engage cast are like complete opposites in terms of personality. Seeing Ivy, who has not become a total girl fail, is kind of interesting. But it's okay. We love our girl flop Ivy as well. So there we go. Yeah, unfortunately didn't get nearly as many copies of the Professor as I was hoping. We could pull a little bit more. We don't have super high pity, but we got 4% pity. Yeah, let's push a little harder, because I'll probably after this just start saving for... Again, I might dip into the pool to grab the last 2 Dedu merges that I want, but after this I'll probably mostly save for Byleth's rerun. Alright, Bantu. I didn't expect to get him plus 10 today, but I was hoping to get a little closer than that. I love him though. He's a cool guy. He just wants to rebuild his village, I guess. I don't necessarily need merges on Ivy, but yeah. Oh, Grima, let's go. He is also thematically appropriate for the Fallen banner. The Byleths alone would carry my 3 houses roster, not even counting things like my Edelgards and my my other like semi-invested 3 houses characters. Byleth alone would carry the roster. Then I've got like a decent number of pretty good engaged characters. My 5th is actually probably like Blazing Blade. I've got a lot of Blazing Blade units that are like pretty usable. I think it's Lyn doing a lot of the heavy lifting there though. No escape from Fae. Intelligent Systems wishes to create a world where Fire Emblem Heroes lasts forever. Hope I get some extra. Thank you, thank you. I had about 870 orbs going into this, so I've spent almost 400. Oh, let's go. There he is. I spent like almost 400 at this point, I think, so maybe a little more. Please tell me you're plus speed. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I've spent literally just about 400. I guess 4 for 400. Actually, it's a little skewed because one of those was the Spark. But if you ignore the Spark, it about averages out to 1 copy every 100. So when you factor in the Spark, we're just a little below that. If we could get lucky and get a few Byleths like really fast, then it would be back on track. Look at his art. His art is phenomenal. Actually insane posing and lighting, and oh, he looks so good. I think this is my favorite Byleth art in the game. Fallen Male Alir was also by that artist. And Fallen Male Alir is one of my other favorite arts in the game. He also looks incredible. My boys, I love them so much. They're so cool. All right. Yeah, I don't know how many orbs I want to spend. I don't want to go all the way to 0, but maybe try to get one more copy, or maybe I'll burn the focus charge. Famous last words. Focus charge is so unpredictable. But if I could burn that, get one more copy guaranteed, that wouldn't be bad. That would be bad. Get off my screen. The Byleth with the best art is based off of Byleth in the game that I absolutely hate. The irony of that is not lost on me. Like I said, every person gets one weird, scrunkly character that nobody else cares about, and mine is Shura. It took another Faith superfan, and they were also into Shura. They were like, yeah, Shura's cool. Cinema Roll might be the greatest character design of all time, so... You watching the Cinema Roll movie with your brother? How was it? How was it? I hope you had fun with it. I think it's funny that the most interaction, that is not a tip arm. I was gonna say that's not my professor, but that's obvious because I'm on the wrong color, but that is not who I was looking for. But it is another Ascendant Fleuret, which I can give to my professor, so okay, actually that works out. That works out pretty well. Not every movie can be absolute cinema. There is one true absolute cinema, and it's called Xenoblade Chronicles 2 all cutscenes. It's 12 hours. I'm not even joking. That is 12 hours of cutscenes. All right, let's break the focus charge, and then I think we'll call it. We'll go ahead and take it and run with it. Yeah, I really thought I'd have a little bit more time before the next Byleth was dropped, but how foolish of me to think Faye would let me rest. Come on, give me a wheel of all greens, and let me go nuts with it. Oh, another Shura, let's go. I love him. Ugh. If I waste the focus charge on this, I'm gonna be upset because there's no green. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Crom. Thank you, Crom. I owe you my life. To repay you, I will support you in the next voting gauntlet where you will inevitably get your face stomped in. 10 years and he still hasn't won a voting gauntlet. Rip my man. Bro, what do you mean I've made videos longer than the Cinema Roll movie? Actually, I've been working on the XD script. I got it down by 1,000 words last night, and then I realized I forgot the intro, so I added like an extra 200, and that felt bad. But it is still like quite lengthy, and I'm like really depressed about it. It made me like really, really depressed last night, actually, as I was going to bed. I was like, man, I'm not making any progress with this. Deja vu from the first video, the Coliseum video. I just like to yap too much, and it's a problem. But yeah, I got really demoralized last night. I almost became a fallen hero myself. I was like, man, I'm working so hard on these projects, but they feel like they're not going anywhere. I know they're not going to get a ton of views because it's such a niche thing, but it's for the sake of artistic endeavors, you know? Sometimes you just got to do the thing that'll make you happy. Hawkeye. Nah. Put a shirt on, dude. Hawkeye, looking for his shirt for the last 10 years. I swear, I do not want... If there's a wheel with no green, I better not get a 5-star. Oh, you wasted my focus charge! Canis, you jerk! I'm about to become a fallen hero. Get out of here. What am I supposed to do with this? Who wants this fodder? I know you're gonna say, well then why didn't you pull Tibarn? I don't know what to do with Tibarn's fodder either. I have no winged beasts to put that on. And I could have gone for another Ivy, but like... I do think that even though I didn't want either Canis or Tibarn, they are more useful to me than a second Ivy would have been. But, God, that is frustrating. My focus charge wasted. Oh, that leaves me with a sour taste. Not the good kind of sour. That leaves me with a bitter taste. I like sour too much for that to be a sour taste. That is a bitter taste, and I'm grumpy about it. We'll be smart and we'll save. We still got a decent number of 5 stars off this. We got 4 copies of Byleth. 1 was sparked, but still got 3 pulled copies. So he's at +3. Not as great as I was hoping. We got the 2 Fallen Female Allure, which is still really funny. We got the Sparked Miss Ivy. We got the evil Canis, who will be fodder to someone for her sins. I don't know who. Who wants this? Who want me? No. And then we got the Amelia, who gave us a Flore, at least for our professor, so... Not the greatest pulling session of all time, but it could have been worse. I am grumpy, but I'll get over it. And that did cost us about 500-ish orbs, like 530, I think. So, could have been worse, too. Could have been better, real quick. This is not enough. I require more. You really think this will satisfy me? Yeah, I know, I wanted to get you more. But Canis decided not to let it happen, so feel free to go maul her after this. I don't care. I won't intervene. I don't have any extra age. Oh, I do have extra age essences. Where did I get those from? I've given them... Look at... I've given them to Byleth, Byleth, and Byleth. Should I give one to Fallen Byleth? Maybe not, but I don't care. I'm going to give him one anyway. He looks too cool not to. We'll give him Dragon Flowers. Yippee! Raises attack as well. So yeah, we'll definitely have to come back for more Byleth pulls in the future, hopefully with a lot more orbs to work with. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, this is Hoodie Angel Brandon and the Fallen Professor Byleth signing out. Farewell. Bye-bye.